The people that got them prisoners up there that killed a kid there 2 weeks ago. Why don't they tell the public that? Ruin them. You guys are hiding a lot of stuff. Tell the public that stuff. Don't be afraid.
All right, any other,
True. You wanna get any reference? Cappuccino's gonna take it over? It's already done. Ask Matt. He tried to forbid. They told him his cabinet's got it all
yes,
locked up.
there's no other discussion? All right, hearing none. Julie?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
And yes.
I know that.
I know they have it open for bids.
I have the senior center contract.
Yes. All right, that concludes the items on the agenda. Under Selectmen's comments, Mary Overs? Julie, do you have any?
I do, I have a couple. I wanted to remind people that the Narragansett Historical Society is going to have an event. It's the first annual Vintage Engine, Tractor, and Car Show, and it's on the Common. It's October 26th from 12 to 5 p.m. And there is no rain date, so it's rain or shine. And there will also be an open house at East Templeton Elementary School, 160 Patriots Road, on Saturday, October 19th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
If you want to stop by and have a free cup of coffee, feel free.
Is it the Assembly School?
Excuse me?
Assembly School, is that
Yes.
252 Baldwin Road?
Yes.
They have one too.
Just going backwards a little bit, can I? To the Templeton Developmental Center, or is that all done? I was just wondering if you people have a reuse committee in action for the reuse of those buildings up there. There was one
There was
established at one
one.
point?
It got established and then, I don't even know if there was ever a meeting.
I don't think they've
It was one
done.
of those things
Just
that
get
they
all
make
those
the
nice
establishment,
buildings
but they
up
don't
there.
make it happen.
Just going to
They're
waste.
building 3 more. My neighbor puts in foundations. He's got the plans.
Well, that's for
Right.
halfway houses, but these are the buildings that are there, and I'm sure this town could use some of those buildings if we ask. If we don't get asking, they're gonna be gone.
And they're actually closing them up. They're locking them up, they're not
They're
filling.
boarding them up,
Board them up with new roof on one of them.
so, I
Yeah,
mean,
program buildings, yeah.
if there was a committee, I thought, I don't know.
There
That's all I'm
is
asking.
just,
I mean, I think that's very important.
thank you. Is that it?
Actually, I would like to, I went to a MMA fall conference, and one of the selectmen there, who was a moderator, said that what they do is they have, on almost like on a monthly basis, they have their senator and their reps come to their meetings and keep them updated. And if you have any questions, like the Fernald School, I think maybe it's time that we have a meeting, host a meeting with Senator Burham, Representative Andrews, and try to get some answers, because
I agree.
it's all rumor mill.
It's, Julie, it's really not rumor. They are leasing out the different areas.
Right. We knew that
But
they
the
were gonna.
buildings themselves,
And usually when they lease it out, I don't know if Luann will back me up, but we as FFI, when we leased out our building,
Mm.
we had to start paying taxes on it.
Well, I think that small
So
building
if
in
they're
the front-
leasing out the Valley Barn,
Right.
Right.
somebody's gonna end up having to
Yeah,
pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the water will have to be paid for because the water goes through 1 meter right now.
Right.
Yeah, all the meter, all.
There's
that's
only
why
1
the water
meter up the
department
frontal
doesn't
sewer right
want
now,
us
so
to-
they've gotta be
It's
broken
closed.
off.
And the sewer treatment plant up there is closed.
No, it's still open, they've got another, I don't know, I think they got 7 months left.
Septics have always done, got bids out for that
Okay, Doug?
already.
Yeah, I've got a few things. First, I'd like to, just publicly thank Graves Concrete. They made a donation of the grease trap for the senior center project. So they, just gave us that 1,500 gallon grease trap. I think it's $1,000 or something like that. So we do appreciate that donation. I'd also like to publicly thank and commend the Highway Department They've done a tremendous job over at the senior center. You know, those guys have really gone the extra mile. They've worked during their vacation weeks, you know, and they've just done a fantastic job, and they have saved the taxpayers at least $200,000. So I think they've done a great job, and that you know, we need to commend them. Then lastly, and we'll talk about the contract now. We're at the senior center. We're ready to do the concrete floors. We went out to bid for the concrete floor at the lower level. We bid out the preparation of the work because that's not really concrete itself. You know, it's any you know, grounds or excavation kind of company could do it, because there's excavation involved, there's gravel, insulation, those kinds of things, which really don't have anything to do with the concrete. So we went out for that. We only got one response, or we got a couple of responses. The lowest response happens to be the same company that bid on doing the concrete. So we have a contract for the preparation of the floor. We then went out for the pouring of the concrete. We got two quotes back. The lower quote, which there was only $1,000, $1,200 difference, that contractor came back and said that they can't, you know, meet the time frame that we need the work done in. So their bid got discarded because they can't meet the time frame. So we have the contracts here for the board to sign. And if you haven't been over by the senior center lately, please take a drive by and take a look. It's you know, starting to come together.
If you put them in the office, we can sign them.
Yeah.
Ken?
I just want to thank everyone that, and I know that various different groups have various different reasons for supporting the override, but for everyone who took the time to preserve and energy to preserve the town services as they currently exist, regardless of whose fault we thought we were in that situation in the first place. For everyone who came together, the town employees, people who put a sign in their yard. I know that the odds were kind of stacked against the override passing, but with a dedicated, concerned effort by all various people that were going to be affected in different ways and had their reasons for voting the way they did. I just want to thank everyone who helped to preserve our town services.
I think the person that put on that blog today that the senior centers got laughed at should be shamed, if you read that blog today. We won. That's all the ones, age bracket 1. You see, the citizens over 65 and stuff, you're done. It's on the blog. We'll put that on there.
Okay.
Dirty people.
I would just take a minute. I would just take a minute to. I got a call from Bud Chase today, and he said that the highway department, they have a little touch-up thing to do on the retention pond, but they are basically done over there. And if you have not been over, I'd suggest dropping in. It's paved. It's going to be hydro-seeded again, where the grass is going to go. It looks really nice. Now you get an idea of how it will look once the building is, the work on the outside and it is done. Again, it was a tremendous amount of work. The highway department, it was voted on a few years back to allow them to do that work. It's been ongoing, and it looks like that is, other than Gilman Way, which was a lot of volunteer and a lot of tax dollars. It's a town project that's going to be done. It was been a long time coming. It's something that was started, talked about, a lot of work and effort by this man to my right for not giving up and not taking no. And it's when that building finally opens, and I hope it's soon because I want to have a cup of coffee there. But I think it'll be a great day. It'll be a good day for the town that they actually talked about something. Maybe it was piecemeal from the outside, and maybe it's, not brandy new and top of the line, but we actually talked something, voted on something, started it, and when it's finished, it's a town project that has been done. And then we can move forward with the next one. And I think the highway department deserves a lot of credit for a lot of the work they did over there. And they did save the taxpayers a lot of money. Having said that, please attend the special town meeting and tell your friends, please attend. It's a civic duty, and we gotta finish the business that happened Tuesday. And that's all I have to say on that.
I have a piece of business before the board under comments. We need to respond to a letter that the board received regarding snow plowing at the school. The superintendent sent you a letter, you saw copies in your folders. And she's requiring an answer to this request because they need to bind a contract one way or the other for snow plowing.
Find a contract.
They've gone out to bid. I know they have valid quotes, and her letter is to request that we decide whether the town wishes to plow for $25,000 or not. I understand from a discussion with her earlier in the week that she has 3 quotes, one of which, a low of which was something in the order of $14,700, I believe. That may not be the exact amount, but that was the order of magnitude. So the question before the board is whether you'd like to continue the relationship we have, or simply say thanks, but since you have some other valid bids, go right ahead.
And one of the reasons that wasn't on the agenda, because that letter, I believe, states that they went out to bid, they had bid, they accepted a low bid, and they needed an answer by the 16th, which was yesterday. And we don't meet till tonight, so very well could not give them an answer. We do have a meeting posted for Tuesday. If they can wait, are willing to wait, if the superintendent can speak on that for the committee, if they so want a vote, we could do that.
The elementary school.
For Tuesday.
I'd like to know what it is.
Well, I would just like to point out that,
Excuse me, please.
I would just like to point out regarding this, that we kind of threatened them with this, and this now is $25,000, assuming, because if we're not the lowest bid, if they can get it for cheaper, they will. So this is now $25,000 out of the highway department's budget that we heard Superintendent Chase previously spoke in favor of. This board never took a vote on whether or not we should challenge that contract, but because of the rhetoric that was used by the board, the school opted to go elsewhere. They did, and now the town is out $25,000. That would have paid for 5 elections. So I just want to put that out there.
Well, $25,000 from the taxpayers goes there, and then it comes back, and they do the work, so there is expense involved in doing this. And it wasn't a threat, it was simply, if the override fails and services are cut drastically, we may not be able to do what has been done in the past. So it was a suggestion that they look, if they could find something cheaper, and apparently they have. Now they're asking, do we want to continue to do it for the 27, or do they want to pay for 14? I'm not sure what they're going to get for $14,000 for that size lot, but
They have bid, so that's not.
yes,
Let them try.
Is that sanding also?
I have
It's
no
not
idea.
sweeping it up in the
Sweeping
spring.
and
I have-
cleaning?
It's easy to say, I got a bid to plow it.
I have no idea.
No idea.
It's
I'd like to know what the bid's
It's not us.
for.
It's not us. We're not the
Okay.
school.
No, I know.
If the school can get their parking lots plowed at a cheaper price than the town could do it, then I think that's what they should do.
Oh, I agree.
They're spending our money.
Let them do it.
Right.
Why are they
Because-
asking us if we want $25,000 when they can?
That's what we pay
Why do
every
they
year
want
to
it?
them. that's what we pay. We have an existing relationship for years where they
Right,
paid us
and I
and we
mean, I
did it
do
for them.
appreciate the courtesy
Why
of
do they wanna
them
pay us
asking
25?
whether they wanted to do it, but
All right, please.
from a budget standpoint, if you can do something for cheaper, you do it for cheaper.
Oh, right, yeah,
course you
no,
do.
I agree.
Right,
But Chase said that the town makes money on that.
Yes.
Yes.
And
He did.
it would be in our benefit to take that.
Yeah.
We're getting it back that way.
Yes.
If it goes out to bid, I can pretty much guarantee you that they're not including the picking up of the sand, the sweeping and all that other stuff. They're just talking strictly snow removal. And we'll end up paying it later in taxes. I think we should keep it and get that extra money out of it for the highway department, for plowing.
I disagree. I think that if they can do it for cheaper, they should do it for cheaper, and then the rest of that money that's saved should go to the kids.
That's
Right?
right. That's
That's
exactly
how it
what they
should
wanted it
And
for the
that
kids.
is,
That's-
it's,
And that's drawing another line between the town and the school.
No,
That's what it's doing.
it's really not up to us. I mean, I didn't attend the school committee that was held.
I did attend the school committee meeting,
Did they discuss this?
and they were very, they want to continue that relationship, and obviously they went out to bid because you asked them to.
right.
So that's what they had to do. I do not recall the $14,000 figure. It was like 19 something. I don't know what that included. I just was there as an observer. And they want to, I believe they would give you that time, but again, it wasn't up to the superintendent. She had to ask the school committee,
Right.
you know, what they wanted to do. So it's not up to the superintendent, but you had a long-standing relationship with the town, and she knows that. Bob Chase stood here and said that it does not cost $25,000, that it helps them in paying their workers. And so she's not trying to be spiteful. She's trying to do what you asked, but yet they don't want to sever that relationship because you are drawing a line in the sand yet again. So that's what I heard. So the school committee was more like, okay, well, let's ask Mr. Ritter. I know she's been speaking with you, but that's what I got out of it.
Mr. Chairman, until we really know what's encompassed in that contract, to save money, no matter what, whether it be the school or the town, is the best interest of the community. The community gives the money to the school as well as into the general fund. To save money is what we should be looking at, not to take it end up, trying to end up taking money that's just basically filtered through the school and back in. It doesn't go directly to take and pay for the highway. It goes back into the general fund, and it will be free cash. That's where it ends up. It's not really a savings. That free cash can be used later on to take it, end up paying the assessment with the school, etc. I mean, that's just, it's good finances to take it, end up trying to get things inexpensively. That doesn't make any difference whether it's the town or the school. We've got to take it, end up, stop saying it's us and them. It's a savings to the town. People have to understand that. I just cannot fathom why people end up continually down this path.
Okay. If you could contact Ruth, and if she would oblige me, or the board, but this is something I happen to know a little bit about. What that includes, what they asked for. I mean, I would hope if they went out to bid, they asked for what they were getting, to replace what they were getting. That is plowing, sanding, and sweeping it up in the spring. Sweeping up in the spring would be about that size. Say the hospital is about $1,500 or so, give or take, maybe 2,000, somewhere in there. So, yeah, just ask
And
that
then docket
question.
this for the Tuesday meeting.
And if she wants, once we know that, because if they just, if the school committee just went out and says, hey, we need a bid for plowing, and they didn't put wording in there, they have the 27 set aside, and if the low was 19, then they have $7,000, $8,000 if they have to hire somebody to come in specifically to sand, salt, they will go through that money rather quickly. So yeah, if they could do that, and if they, I know the letter said they needed to know by yesterday, but,
That's because they had a school committee meeting yesterday.
I know, but we could not give them an answer because we did not meet until today. So if you could just convey that things, and then we know what they got. I would just like to ensure that they asked for the same services that they were replacing. 'Cause perhaps they just put a bid out to plow snow and didn't put that wording in there. And somebody says, well, I'll plow you for 19. Oh, I want to sand it. Well, that's an extra 10. I want to sweep it up. Well, that's an extra, 1,500, 2,000. Yeah, that's a losing situation. If anybody on the board have any problems with that or issues?
No.
Having said that,
How about the
I will.
portable buildings? You looked at the portable buildings?
We have, no, we have not been down there yet.
I have had contact with them.
them.
I'm gonna try to arrange that for next.
Yes, I told Chief that I would ride down, I just need a heads up. And if I can go up, I'm gonna go and look at them.
In the process.
All right. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Julie?
Yes.
Ken? Yes. Doug? No.
Overruled.